some FYIs. Pauly Shore was 17 when he did Encino Man.
No.
Actually, I did not verify. I just took this website's word at it. I should have looked at IMDb and checked his age.
Hold on.
I just believe
He was not 17. We're doing the math right now.
Well, according to this guy on the web, he was 17.
Wait, it was 1992?
1992. Pauly Shore was born in...
He's 24. He was 24 when he did this.
Oh, they lied to me.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right. It is May 22nd, 1992. And at that time, I am really into movies. What about you?
I was really into movies, but never allowed to go see them in the theaters.
Why?
It was because my mother was weirdly overprotective.
Oh, you're going to get molested or something?
Pretty much. Also, I was 11 going on 12.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was not really allowed to run around downtown Toronto by myself.
I lived in rural areas, so it was very hard. We went to movies and the drive-in and stuff, but it was not was an occasion. It was a thing to do just once in a while. So we were both into movies. Hollywood was not. And they released Encino Man. Also known as California Man in France, Finland, Sweden, Great Britain, Asia, South Africa, and New Zealand. California Man. Now, I do remember liking this movie, but after the whole Weekend at Bernie's fiasco, I question these movies.
I am so terrified. I am going to hate it because I remember thinking this was one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah, and I think Encino Man falls into that silly premise type movies where it makes no sense, but
100%.
Like when they were pitching this movie, what's that?
I remember loving it.
Yeah, I do
so
too.
Much.
But I'm pretty sure when they were pitching this movie, like there was someone that was like, "There's no way anyone's going to watch this."
I think it was another drug fueled like pitch meeting.
Yeah,
they were like just high off their asses, and they're like, "Guys, I have an idea."
Actually, that's not far off because when I was looking at some stuff for doing this. 3 guys got some money to do more than one movie. I can't remember how many it said they were doing. And they had, their offices were some trailers in the back lot. And they said behind Steven Spielberg's many, many offices in 1992. And they got some money to do a few movies, 2 or 3, I can't remember. And they were trying to figure out what should their first movie be. And they were they were coming up with these ideas, and it kind of that's what it sounded like came out of. What if we did this and did this? So you weren't too far off there. I think I liked it because of my age. I was watching MTV a lot, so I knew Pauly Shore, and it was like, oh my god, a movie made for me. Which really meant, okay, kids are stupid, and they're getting stupider, and I don't think we need to put a script or even do a script for this movie. Because I'm trying to remember the plot, and the plot's pretty dumb.
Isn't it literally just like they dig up a frozen...
Yeah, and they thaw him out with like a hairdryer.
And and then it's just acclimating him to like modern day society.
Yeah.
As he's led around by like Pauly Shore.
Yes. And, and Sean
Look at
Astin.
me remembering. And Sean Astin. Oh.
Yeah.
Sean Astin.
Actually,
I'd like to point out I hated, and I still do kind of hate Pauly Shore. Gets on my nerves. Hate watching all of his movies, every single one of them. But I loved Encino Man.
yeah, so I remember liking it, but I have an asterisk beside that statement.
I after the Weekend at Bernie's fiasco, I'm like, is this another one of my faulty memories?
Yeah, because this falls right in almost.
It's a ridiculous comedy.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean it's going to be bad.
No.
But
and Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I love Brendan Fraser.
He's absolutely having a renaissance right now in his career, which I am so happy about.
Yeah. It's too bad
I did have a crush on Encino Man. He was adorable.
Well, yeah, he did a lot of movies. I think people have crushes on him.
Oh, 100%.
He seems like such a cool guy, too.
Honestly, I read an article that he did. This was before, I think he just done like his first movie in decades. And they did an article like on his farm in upstate New York where he works with horses because he has, I don't know if it's both of his sons or one of his sons has autism, and he's like, horse therapy really helps him. And I read that entire story and I was like, my God, this is fucking beautiful. You're fucking beautiful. This is give the man all the money. Let's live his life. He doesn't have to work anymore.
Yeah, no, everything I've read and heard about him is he's supposed to be like a nice guy. Doesn't mean he is, but he seems like a really cool guy.
Weirdly enough, I think it may actually be true with him. Now, and I refuse to admit it if it's not true.
Now, if you're watching TV in May of 1992, hold on to your neon sugar sack shorts. Do you remember those?
Yes.
I had a pair of regular sugar sack shorts, and I had 2 pairs of neon sugar sack shorts.
I did not have either of those.
When I was looking for stuff for the 90s and trying to look at TV and music and all that, these fucking shorts popped up and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I had those.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was cool.
I'm sure you were.
America's Funniest Videos was paired with America's Funniest People. Murder, She Wrote was still airing new episodes. Can you believe that shit?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
People were still dying around this woman for like a decade now. No one was putting together the pieces. I still think that would be awesome if they did a movie like that where she is a serial killer. She just comes up with these great stories because she's the one fucking offing people.
I have a really great idea for a TV series kind of based off of that, but not. But that's a whole nother conversation.
And we have expressed, I think, on more than one occasion, our love for Angela Lansbury.
Yes.
Parker
Lewis is the GOAT.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Parker Lewis Can't Lose, the most 90s of 90s TV.
I forgot that show even existed.
Yeah, if you want to see what our mindset was in the early 90s, watch that show. Like, you'll think we were all living in a padded cell. I did watch Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Me too.
Yeah, and I forgot about that show, much like I forgot about Living Color.
I love Living Color.
And The Rock, the guy he was the garbage man. He was on Fox.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a great show. I remember it being a great show.
I remember liking it too.
And we have Full House, Family Matters, Major Dad, Baby Talks, Dinosaurs, Step by Step. Such a...
that was TGIF, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I used to watch the Family Matters Step by Step. This is terrible. I think Major Dad was also on... No, Major Dad was on a different...
It was a different network, yeah.
Although I watched that one too.
Yeah. And I watched Dinosaurs. I didn't watch Full House and Family Matters. I didn't really care for that stuff.
I
did watch Major Dad, Dinosaurs. I don't remember Baby Talks. I think that was based off the movie.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't watch that.
Step by Step with Suzanne Summers and the Dallas guy.
Patrick Duffy.
And riveting genre-defying dramas like Doogie Howser, MD.
It's a classic, although I haven't seen the remake-ish.
there is, you see where I'm kind of going with this. The 90s was very, how should we say, bubblegum.
Yes.
It was a bubblegum decade, and 92 was just getting started. Oh. And of course, also in 1992, everyone was trying to figure out how the fuck they were getting trounced in the ratings by a yellow cartoon family called The Simpsons, who were in 1992 monster huge.
I was still watching The Simpsons at that point.
Yeah, they
I
came
think I
out
gave up.
89 Christmas, and then 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. Like he had an album, do the Bart dance.
Yeah. That was actually
shirts,
a pretty big hit.
Sweater, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I stopped watching
Do the Bart
year
dance.
11.
I did too. Actually, season 10 or season 11, I stopped. Yeah, I caught an episode here and there, and my kids are getting into it, so I'm thinking I might start watching it again. That's a lot of... They're on like season 31.
Is it already 31?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, God.
So that means I'm 21 seasons behind. That's a lot of Simpsons to watch.
That's going to be like a 6-month binge.
Oh, at least.
Oh, my God.
I'm not saying the 90s was all cotton candy. There were some awesome dramas, action movies, TV shows, comedies, and horror had completely reinvented itself. Mm-hmm. Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs was just 2.5 months away from opening, but there was a lot of cotton candy in every medium. I mean, every decade had it. 70s had like a little bit. 80s had a section that sold cotton candy. The 90s had a lot of cotton candy.
In the 90s, they definitely went more for this is entertainment.
Yeah.
As opposed to infotainment.
Trying to jam family.
Oh, God, yeah.
Family. It's almost like a revision of the 50s. Like very family, wholesome.
Yeah.
And
very, very family friendly, very family oriented. Definitely very wholesome and very not gritty.
Yeah.
You know, like there even when they had hard things to talk about, it was super, like if there were drug issues, it was someone was smoking some pot.
Yeah.
And then they immediately stopped once their parents sat them down and had a very serious conversation with them about it.
Yeah.
Like everything was wrapped up nice and neat and there was no ongoing, not like now where you have shows like Euphoria where you're sitting there going, God, are the kids okay today? Like,
I think that's when movies like Pulp Fiction and I'm trying to think of other movies that came out like that, or Scream, or that were so that I think that's why they became huge or people loved, because it was getting out of that bubble.
It was definitely because I remember the 90s, we started also getting, not even with like grittier or more violent movies, like even just movies where it was very much this is how the world is and it's shit, like Reality Bites, and you saw like Empire Records and things like that, where it was just like, life is shit. Yeah. This is how we're making it through.
And we did get movies like The Rock and Con Air and Face Off. That was all.
You just
I think those
named
were
all Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage movies.
Although I will say this, The Rock is a classic. I love it.
Yeah, The Rock's a classic. Speaking of cotton candy, music around this time. Some of the top songs were My Lovin' by En Vogue, Save the Best for Last by Vanessa Williams. I sometimes forget she was a singer.
Yes, true. True story.
I mean, I don't think about it a lot. It doesn't keep me up at night, but I forget. Live, Live and Learn by Joe Public. Ain't Too Proud to Beg by TLC. Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Will You Marry Me by Paula Abdul. But the number one song at this time was Crisscross Jump. It doesn't get more bubblegum than that. Well, Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby was...
and that was 1990. Ice. That was like, that just let everyone know what was about to come.
Oh, that's... that song is still
I do
very
like
popular.
That song. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Vanilla Ice is
I didn't like it then. I like it more now than I liked it then.
I love it. I love it. Although I will say this, what is it? Because Vanilla Ice ended up doing the soundtrack to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yes.
And the song that he does, it's very catchy. I can't remember the name, but every time
I know
hear
what
it,
one you're talking about.
I
Yeah.
sing it for literally a week afterwards. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? But it's a catchy tune. Anyways, thank you, Vanilla Ice.
And like I said, it wasn't all bad or all bubblegum. If you like rock, Queen was number 3 at this time in May 22nd because of with the Bohemian Rhapsody, because Wayne's World had already come out, and just that whole soundtrack of Queen skyrocketed back into the charts. Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe, One by U2, Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. So these were all in the top 20. So it was weird. It was weird, like both sides of the spectrum, and actually all spectrums, dance, R&B. Guns N' Roses and Metallica were like monsters in 92. Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, Alice in Chains were all just starting to get huge. Even like rap to metal to country. And MTV was playing music videos. We wanted to watch music videos, and we wanted to pay $20 a CD for 2 good songs on it.
I used to have a rule. I wouldn't buy a CD unless it had 3 songs on it that I liked.
I wish I had that rule, because I bought
that was my rule, because
I
got burned. I got burned too many times because I'd hear a song and be like, well, if this is what all the songs are like, I'm going to buy the CD. And then I'd buy the CD and I'm like, I only like the one song.
Yeah. They did have, if you could get to Sam's or Towers, they did have singles, CD singles.
Yeah.
They were like $8.
They were like $8.
And you got like
you'd usually get a second.
Sometimes 2 or 4 songs, between 2 and 4 songs.
3 or 4 songs. Usually they would have the one song that you wanted, like the actual single, and then they would have like 2 bonus songs, like 2 B-side songs. And you were like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was hard, man. Buying CDs, carrying that shit around.
It was,
Oof.
Yeah.
And I like that, like 92 was like literally just as grunge was making its way out of Seattle.
Yeah.
And this was when alternative rock was starting its rise, because then this is when like I Mother Earth, Our Lady Peace, and all of them were just starting to come out, when you're just like, oh,
yeah,
look at this. And Rainbow Butt Monkeys. I enjoy, although now they're Finger 11. They changed their name. I was like, I prefer Rainbow Butt Monkeys, but thank you.
And heavy metal was still huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses and like Skid Row. There's tons of them. But also this was the beginning of boy bands and
like
the
kind of bubblegum pop.
Bands. Yeah.
There was definitely not exactly a divide, but there was like boy band. There was the rock, and then there was rap. Like this is how it was divided in my elementary school.
Yeah. Yeah, because you kind of put Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and the Soundgarden in with kind of like Metallica.
Yeah.
And even though they were very different sounds. Red Hot
Very different sounds, but it's funny because the people who would listen to like Metallica would also listen to Soundgarden, would also listen to. So like that was their like shtick. And then you had, because this was,
but they also had like Spice Girls coming, and you
Spice Girls was coming
Paula
soon.
Abdul was already there. TLC was there. Yeah.
That was more the like poppy good times. And
so
then
there was a lot to choose from.
There really was.
Yeah.
It was like a good time for music.
Yeah, it was like a big buffet.
Such a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good music and a lot of different like genres. That was also like the golden age of country, or at least what I consider the golden age of country.
Like Garth Brooks, who I think
Garth Brooks, Reba McEntire, Trisha Yearwood, you know, like really, really great voices like coming through. So good.
Beastie Boys was coming out with, that's when Check Your Head and Sabotage and all that was coming out. Yeah, it was really good music. There's a lot of different stuff to choose from. I miss the 90s now.
Why do you think I still listen to 90s music today?
Yeah. So our entertainment was kind of bubblegum and awesome and cotton candy. Our reality was not. On May 1st, Los Angeles Dodgers postponed 3 MLB games due to the racial riots over the infamous Rodney King beating. The bigger headline, which I didn't understand but it was because the riot started April 29th. I was looking for the May headlines. But the riot started on April 29th and ended on May 4th.
Mm-hmm.
because May 4th, the U.S. Army Marine Corps forces arrive in L.A. to end rioting following the acquittal of 4 police officers over the beating of Rodney King.
Which, by the way, is still a misjustice.
Yeah, yeah.
They condemned.
Yeah.
Those cops should have gone to jail. I don't care what anybody says. It's on tape.
Yeah.
Still, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Still mad about it to this day. Still mad about it.
May 7th, the U.S. Space Shuttle STS-49 launched, nickname maiden voyage of Endeavour. May 9th, final episode of The Golden Girls. Airs on NBC. That was sad. I think I wasn't following Golden Girls at 92, but I did make a point to watch that one.
Yeah, I was a faithful viewer. I love those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I have a couple t-shirts. May 13th, 3 astronauts simultaneously walk in space for the first time. Smells Like Nirvana by Weird Al hits number 3. And if that doesn't make the case for Bubblegum, I mean, I sang the song. I'm just saying. Big Bubblicious vibes.
Yeah.
Were you a Hubba Bubba or a Bubblicious chewer?
I was a Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba?
Yeah. Watermelon.
Do you remember the one that came out? Oh, the watermelon one. I forgot about the watermelon one.
Still buy a pack whenever I see it. If I'm at like Walmart or whatever and they happen to have the watermelon one, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
I think that was one of my favorite ones, the watermelon one.
Yeah, so good.
Do you remember the one that came out? It was round and it had the syrup in the middle. The bubble.
Oh my god, yeah.
Or you could squish it and the syrup stuff would come out.
Yeah, no. Aren't those called like the candy, right?
It was gum.
Or are you talking? No, the gum that had the liquid inside always fucked me up because it confused me. I was like, I don't know if I should be drinking or chewing, and this is very uncomfortable. And
yeah, it blew our little minds.
Yeah, it fucked me up, man. Fucked me up.
Our little low IQ minds.
Hey, I got tested for that. I'm borderline genius.
Yeah, we were like, fuck the Endeavour voyage. They just put syrup in the middle of this bubble gum. And it tastes not bad.
No, it tasted
This might be the
fine.
greatest decade of our lives. Yes, the rides are horrible, but is it affecting the distribution of the bubblegum with the syrup in the middle?
That's what really matters.
Yes, it is. Send in the fucking Marine Corps. Enough is enough.
Oh, God.
May 16th, the Space Shuttle STS-49 maiden voyage of Endeavour lands at the International Space Station. I don't know why it took so fucking long to get there. Oh, it came back. I'm sorry. I'm like, it shouldn't have took that long to get there.
Why did it take so long? I don't understand.
So, Encino Man opens on May 22nd, 1992. It opened at number 4. 2 other movies opened that weekend. Alien 3, which I loved, at number 2. And Far and Away, number 3, which
Wasn't that the Australia one?
That was the one Ron Howard directed, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, where they come over from Ireland. And they have that big giant race for the land.
Right.
I think when I watched, and I only watched the one time, I think I was like, this is stupid. This is like watching a history book. But I think it was a good movie. I think that's something I would like to go back and watch.
I hate Tom Cruise with a fiery passion.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation. His movies are awesome.
His movie, like, that's what makes me mad. Okay, like, I can kind of watch Cocktail. I enjoy Cocktail.
Just on a side note, Cocktail is when I was going through movies, I was going to suggest Cocktail. It has such a low critical rating, like 10% or something like that. And I remember liking it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
same thing. I remember liking it.
Tom Cruise as a person, I think, is a nutcase.
Well, this is what happens when actors act the fool in their real life, because then it starts to paint how I watch them on screen, and it makes me mad. Because no offense to Tom Cruise, he's not a good enough actor for me to forget that he's an asshole cult member / leader. Like it's not enough. So if he was a good enough actor that I could be like, I have no idea. Like there are still some people that I can watch them perform and I'm like, I can forget that you're a douche nozzle. Him, I can't forget.
Oh no, his Mission
Also,
Impossible movies are pretty cool.
he was never that good of an actor for me. I was like,
what's
like,
that
he's okay.
one? Live, Die, Repeat.
I don't know.
With what's her name? Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite movies.
I believe.
But you got to remember too, and it's not an excuse. I think people in Hollywood live in this bubble where reality doesn't get to them very often, and he has been living in this bubble for a very long time. Like he's been on top of his game for a long time.
No, don't get me wrong.
And there's his plastic surgeon in his group.
Amazing. His plastic surgeon is magic. Like, he's aging very well. But ever since I saw Leah Remini's miniseries on A&E about Scientology, I'm like, this is super extra fucked up. Like, is everybody okay there? Like, it concerns me. But he always got on my nerves. Like, he was never one of those actors that, like, I could get swept up in his performance. It always felt like Tom Cruise. Oh, Rain Man. There's a Tom Cruise movie I like.
That's a good movie, Rain Man.
Yeah. So I've got Rain Man and Cocktail. The man has made like 55 movies.
Dazed and Confused? Not Dazed and Confused. Days of Thunder.
No. Didn't like it. No. Days of Thunder. None of the Mission Impossibles. War of the Worlds. Didn't like it.
No. Oh, I loved it.
No. I was like, if he wasn't in this movie, I think I'd like it more. He's just, as an actor, just
rubs you the wrong way.
He really does. Anyways, I'm sorry. I went off of my Tom Cruise.
Basic Instinct filled out the top 5.
That's a great movie.
I remember, there's a lot of controversy around that movie. And,
I
remember liking it.
I remember liking it too. Also, Sharon Stone, still a hottie to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, she aged well Smoking. Too. Encino Man had a budget of $7 million and bowed out of the theaters with just over $40 million. I could not get any info on VHS rentals because when I was doing this, I found out DVDs didn't even arrive on the scene until 1997.
No.
Blockbuster didn't even start renting them or giving them a real push until 1999. Hollywood Video, which was the second biggest video chain, did it right away in 97. But Blockbuster wasn't even really pushing DVDs until 1999.
You know what I just
realized? That blew my mind.
1997, Titanic came out. And I know a lot of people who bought Titanic on VHS. It had on the 2 tapes. And I just realized, I was like, shit, Suckers. When you were saying all of this, DVDs weren't even a thing. Oh God, I hate Titanic.
You hate that Titanic? Movie so I think we've had this conversation.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Yeah. And every time it's a very traumatic like movie for me. I'm very traumatized by it. Although I love it when the guy falling and like hitting the rail.
Oh.
Amazing. I love that part.
Oh, and that boat goes all the way up and they start. I wish I would have saw it in the theater just to see the boat sink.
Honestly, yes, the sinking of the boat was great. The rising water, there were touching moments. It was just entirely too long. And quite frankly, really, Leonardo DiCaprio? I think
he got better with age.
He definitely did. And I just wish he would start dating girls who are over 25.
Did you watch the Ricky Gervais when he burned Leonardo DiCaprio? Because it went on too long and Leonardo already dumped her and got a new girlfriend because she aged out.
There's a whole, this is terrible, but amongst the, gossip community, there's this whole, his girlfriend's coming up on her 25th birthday.
Yeah, I'd be worried if I was
break up with her. Every girlfriend should be worried. If she makes it to 26 and still with him, there is something super special about her. She's not going to last till 27. But I mean, yeah.
She went that extra mile. But the DVD thing kind of blew my mind. So I couldn't find anything on the rentals. So $40 million against a $7 million budget. It already made money.
Yeah.
And it probably made quite a bit on rentals. So it was a success. Adjusted for inflation, Encino Man would have made $88.5 million a couple years ago by our standards now. So not bad. And
No, it
again,
did
that
well.
doesn't include rentals and sales.
Yeah.
Some FYIs, Pauly Shore was 17 when he did Encino Man.
No.
Actually, I did not verify. I just took this website's word at it. I should have looked at IMDb and checked his age.
Hold on.
I just believe the...
He was not 17. We're doing the math right now.
Well, according to this guy on the web, he was 17.
Wait, it was 1992?
1992. Pauly Shore was born in...
He's 24. He was 24 when he did this.
Oh, they lied to me.
They really lied to you.
No. Oh, yeah.
He was born in 1968.
Yeah, 1968. Also, he lied about his age. And this
Very
poor guy
possible.
on the internet got it wrong. And now everyone just ridicules him.
Well, I mean...
This was the first of Brendan Fraser's what they call himbo trilogy. The hunky guy who's goofy and nice and totally unaware that he is hot. Because then we got George of the Jungle in 97 and Blast from the Past in 99.
I really loved Blast from the Past.
I remember liking that. I remember not wanting to like that, or I remember not even wanting to watch it. But it was one of those ones where it wasn't bad. And
no, I remember
like George of the Jungle.
Really liking it. I didn't like George of the Jungle.
I loved the cartoon as a kid.
Oh.
And the remake of the cartoon, my kids loved the remake. And that old 60s or 70s George of the Jungle. So yeah, I did like the movie. It was ridiculous, but I did not see this movie in theater.
Oh, neither did I.
I watched it with a friend or my brother or both, because I have seen it more than once. It wasn't my favorite comedy, but I do remember liking it.
I think this may have been a rental for me.
Yeah. Yeah, with some
I think
friends
this was
or
a
something.
rental, so I would have seen it probably mid-90s.
Yeah. At least 93, 94.
Yeah. And
because it took a while for it to come out of the theater.
Yeah. And I haven't seen it in like 20 years, to be perfectly honest.
Not since mid-90s, probably for me.
Oh, I probably saw it early 2000s. I think it was on TV one night.
But I probably would have caught some. Yeah, I would probably would have caught bits and pieces of it on flipping around the TV and go, "Oh, Encino Man," I'm watching a bit. But it's always when you do that, you never come upon a movie like that you haven't seen in a while, right when it's just about to start.
Yeah,
it's always 20 minutes in or 20 minutes left to go.
I find I usually like tune in just before one of my favorite scenes. I don't know how I managed to do that, but like every time I'm like, oh my God, this scene's next. And then I stay and I watch that scene and then I change the channel.
I actually liked Pauly Shore movies back then. Like you knew what you were getting. Even then, they weren't thinkers.
No.
They were light, fluffy, cotton candy movies.
Yes.
And his character never, ever, ever changed.
No, not even a little bit.
You're right. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Now, when I was doing this stuff, it's weird because if I had to give you a list of my favorite Pauly Shore movies, I think it would go In the Army, Biodome, The Jury, Encino Man, and then Son-in-Law. I know he's done more, but those are the only five I've really... After that, I didn't watch any more Pauly Shore movies.
Son-in-Law, I think I wasn't overly offended by it. Biodome, I think I actually liked it. I also have not seen that movie.
Yeah.
Probably for 20 years, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, for the most part, I think by the time I saw my like third Pauly Shore movie, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good. Because I know what you're going to be in every single movie. I'm good.
That's what I mean. You weren't going to be disappointed. You knew what you're going to get.
You knew exactly what you were going to get over and over and over again.
But when I did set this up for the Rotten Tomato scores, my order of Army, Biodome, Jury Duty, Son-in-Law, Encino Man being my least favorite, In the Army has 6%, Biodome has 4%, Jury Duty has 0. 14 critics went and saw it, and like 14 credited critics got a 0. In my defense, I think I'm getting the Pauly Shore movie mixed up with the Demi Moore one.
The Demi Moore one?
The Juror?
The Juror. Oh, that was a good one. That
Yeah.
was a
So
good
I don't know.
movie.
And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I know Jury Duty because what's her name's in it? The Tia Carrera, I think, is in Jury Duty.
Oh, she still looks super good, by the way.
Yeah.
She just did a movie with Joe Coy, and I was like, girl, how do you still look this good?
I remember catching, what was that Tomb Raider show she did?
Oh, that one. I love that show. I used to watch
Total
it like
Tomb Raider
crazy.
ripoff.
Yes.
They didn't even try to make it
Well,
different.
no, it was kinda like female Indiana Jones.
Yes, which is Tomb Raider.
Yes, look.
Son-in-Law got 21% and Encino Man got 15%. So Son-in-Law and Encino Man were the more award caliber films he did.
They were the least shitty. Say it with me now. The least
Biodome
shitty.
got 4. I'm like,
That's
4?
harsh.
It was that bad?
From what I remember of Biodome, I thought it was funny, but at the same time,
And again,
I
it's
knew
the
it was a shitty
90s,
movie.
the 80s. Yeah. And I get you. We've said this, and we'll probably say it a lot more. When you watch these type of movies, probably if you would have watched them by yourself, you might not like them as much. I never watched a Pauly Shore movie by myself. It was always with a group. It was with a couple friends, with a bunch of friends. And it's that whole
Probably why you like them.
Yeah.
I watched them alone. So
Yeah, and you liked Encino Man, so what does that say about you?
I liked Encino Man. I don't know what Brendan Fraser is cute. That's what it says.
Yeah.
That's what it says about me.
And Sean Astin, he was a little more diverse with his talent.
Yes. He could, actually act.
Yeah.
God bless.
He was one of my favorite hobbits. He was awesome in Stranger Things, Toy Soldiers, Memphis Belle. Oh, Goonies.
Goonies.
Probably one of my all-time favorite movies.
Always and forever.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser, like his himbo movies, Airhead, School Ties, The Mummy. Yeah,
God,
they all did great movies.
So good.
The which one?
School Ties.
I remember being really good, yeah. For a drama, yeah. It was good. That's the one. Okay, I'm getting this right. That's the one where he goes to that prep school and they find out he's Jewish?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because God forbid wasps could be nice to people. God forbid. Rich assholes.
Yeah. All right. That's the tail of the tape. Oh, and exciting news. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I fixed the audio problem for sharing the video. We'll find out.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was so dumb. It was just a little checkbox. If it works, it was so dumb. So Encino Man, 1992, is rated PG and comes in fighting at a lean 1 hour and 29 minutes. That seems like enough of Pauly Shore.
Amen. Yes.
That might be too much now, 20 years later. Okay, so that's the movie poster. A chilling new comedy in full Neander vision. So for people, it's just Encino Man, and it has the evolution of man, but at the end, it's Brendan Fraser on a skateboard. Thawing this summer at a theater near you. And then we have the one you're probably more familiar with. This is the one I remember. I don't remember that movie poster. I remember this.
Oh.
The Encino Man VHS cut. Well, this is
remember,
actually the Blu-ray.
I remember the other
do you?
movie poster. Yeah. I remember that one.
And this one, of course, because Pauly Shore was a little more popular, they have him on the cover.
God. The fashion choices.
Yeah, that should be interesting to see, too.
Don't get me wrong. I think 90s fashion is the shit, and I love it so much. However, some of the things that men wore at that time, I'm like, who thought that was a good idea?
Like neon sugar sack shorts?
Mm-hmm. A lot of jean vests.
Oh, my God. The tagline was, where the Stone Age meets the Rock Age. I don't know if it's because I have 20 kids in this house, all on the friggin' internet. So give me 1 second. Thank God for editing. And the synopsis, it's a pretty straightforward. California teen Dave Morgan, Sean Astin, is digging a pit for a pool in his backyard. I kind of remember that now because why is he digging a hole? Because he wants to put in his own pool. When he happens upon a caveman frozen in a block of ice. Aided by his goofy friend, Stony, Pauly Shore, Dave transports the discovery to his garage where the Neanderthal thaws and is revived when Dave and Stony find the living and thoroughly bewildered caveman. They attempt to pass him off as a foreign exchange student named Link, resulting in many misadventures.
That's
Sounds
right.
about right.
His name was Link.
Link. Stony. Now, Rotten Tomatoes has 34 critics, giving a score, like I said, of 15%. And with 100,000 people, audience score is at 56%. IMDb has 42,000 user ratings, giving it 5.8 out of 10. So it's not a cult classic. I think the score would be a little higher. I don't know. We're going to watch the trailer. Now, let's see if this works. I try not to watch them, so when we're watching them, I can be just as either excited or disappointed as you are.
It's a toss-up every time.
Yep. There we go.
Recently, 2 high school students unearthed a prehistoric man in their own backyard. Their story is completely true. Encino Man.
Flame Edge. Oh, you're so greasy. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Wow, who's the guy with the dork squad? Is he fun or what?
This guy's our ticket to fame and popularity. All we gotta do is get him enrolled in school, and he'll help us become popular. He's a looker. Wait, be careful!
He's dope. I'd go out with him.
Goes on, yes.
I'm too sexy for Milan. Too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan. Today, buddy, we're gonna discuss the beverage.
What are you doing, Mrs. Stoney?
We figure we's a little juice.
No, wheezing the juice. Go, wheezing the juice.
Hollywood Pictures presents Encino Man. He's 1,000,000 years old
Milk does the body good, huh?
Great hair.
and living proof that evolution is not an exact science.
Go there, go to the wheel. Check out the fresh nuts. Wheezing the juice.
Buddy, you got him talking like you now. Too sexy for this song.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm hoping on nostalgia.
This is
It had a couple funny parts in the.
it did.
Yeah.
It did. But at
I just
the
don't know
same
if an hour
time-
and 29 minutes might be too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a toss up. I don't know. It could be.
I'm really
The
hoping that was
ratings
just a shittily done trailer. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Then you got the reviews, the audience reviews.
I mean, maybe we're just going to find it super fun when we actually watch it.
Yeah.
Because I do like when there's one friend who's just tired of the other friend's shit. That's one of my favorite tropes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how I feel. Yeah.
I have a feeling that this might not be because if I remember properly, Pauly Shore isn't the main focus of this movie, where his other movies, they focus on Pauly Shore. So maybe it's just the right amount of like Kramer to Seinfeld type thing, just enough.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. Usually we say whether or not we think, or I don't know. I honestly do.
You know what? Before the trailer, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'll still find this funny. Of course. I mean, maybe not like laugh so hard I pee funny, but funny.
Yeah.
Then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh God, maybe it's just a really bad trailer. Like, is that, or do I just completely not remember this movie? And the movie that I remember it being is not the movie it actually is. I'm concerned now a little bit.
I'm now, it's like, come on, nostalgia.
I'm like, please tell me it's still funny and it's not just a bunch of
one of the girl from The Craft?
Yeah, Robin Tunney.
Yeah, Robin Tunney.
Well, it was funny because I was looking at the cast for this. Robin Tunney, Rose McGowan. I was like, oh.
There's a DeLuise in there.
Yeah, Michael DeLuise, one of the DeLuise brothers. Oh!
And not the good one.
No.
He's all right, but he's not as good as the one that was in 21 Jump Street.
True.
Actually, I think this one was in 21 Jump Street, but later.
The DeLuise brothers like to intersperse, like cross over with each other all the time. They also did that on SG-1.
Sequest or SG-1?
Stargate. They were also on Sequest.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they were on Sequest.
Yeah. Ki Kwan from The Goonies is also in this. He just recently won a Golden Globe for his performance.
I love that movie.
Yeah. So anyways, he's
everywhere but in the universe. I can't remember.
He's in this too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Huh.
Look, and then there's a bunch of actors that you're totally going to recognize when you see them. And you're going to be like, holy shit.
That's what I mean. Nostalgia.
Like, so many people who are recognizable. This is nuts. And like, they're the people whose names you wouldn't know, but you've seen them before.
Yeah.
Like the guy with the long hair in the John Bon Jovi movie where he cheats on his girlfriend and then his girlfriend sleeps with a painter and then he sets everything on fire and then he goes and runs to Mexico. He's in this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sometimes
that was very specific.
I just watched the video.
Did you? Okay.
It's in my music mix playlist on YouTube. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is I have hope for this movie, but just not high hopes.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah. Well, we'll go watch it and we'll find out.
Yep.
Here's hoping.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
We welcome everyone back. We have both watched the movie, so let's dive into Encino Man and find out if this is a 90s hidden gem or a 90s reject. And should have just stayed in the 90s. All right, so initial thoughts on Encino Man.
Okay. I remember liking it more. I don't know, maybe it just took a lot of time to ramp up because I only started like caring towards the end of the movie. But I mean, it was okay.
I thought this movie was a mistake. Like they should have never let Pauly Shore off of MTV.
Okay, can I tell you, Pauly Shore grated on my nerves until the very end. And there was one point where I was like, why does Pauly Shore's character have all the emotional intelligence in this movie?
Yeah,
it fucked me up. About. He was the only one with any sort of emotional intelligence. And I was like, the fuck? I don't understand. Maybe that's part of the reason why I was like, it's all right.
Yeah. But I thought maybe they should just keep it on MTV. They should have had a spray bottle and sprayed him like a cat every time he even mentioned he wanted to make a movie. I think I want to do a feature film and then go, psst, psst. No, Pauly, get back there and fucking say that gobbity goop that and do those weird hand motion things.
I forgot the way he talked.
So did I. Because he never bothered me before, but I haven't seen a Pauly Shore movie in 20 years.
It was terrible.
Like, this movie was more 90s than the 90s were.
100%. Yes. I concur.
And there were some great movies in the 90s. Like I said before, Quentin Tarantino was on his way. Goodfellas, Boys in the Hood, Seven was coming, Casino, Jurassic Park, Speed, Dazed and Confused, and Clerks. But this movie is not part of that list. Not for me.
No.
No.
Not even a little.
Again, I do apologize. This plot outline is small. And much like this movie, I could not find any in-depth plots. Okay, so let's start and let's go through the movie. During the first ice age, a caveman attempts to make fire with his cave woman partner. An earthquake causes a cave-in and buries the two of them. I don't know about you, but I sat down to watch this movie and left common sense and any resemblance of reality at the door. Like, they didn't come with me to see this movie. So, like,
I did Google whether or not a Neanderthal or Cro-Magnon man could still be frozen. FYI, the answer is no.
No. Oh. So I turned my brain off. I knew this wasn't going to be a thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just left just enough on upstairs, like just able to use my hands to eat some popcorn and bring the straw up to my lips to drink my pop. In 1992 LA, an earthquake awakens average teenager Dave Morgan. Where did that fucking slushy fall from?
I have no idea.
Like, even with my brain off,
there?
I was like, yeah, like, where did that come from?
And then all of a sudden he was down, and then there was a slushy cup poured over him, and I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Do you have a shelf directly above your bed?
He, along with his best friend Stoney, strive to attain popularity in high school, but comes off more like a reject or an outcast.
100%. I have never seen a more pathetic. Like, even in other movies, the loser is not that pathetic.
Yeah. Okay, so the slushy falls on Dave, and it cuts to Stoney, Pauly Shore, stealing Dave's mom's bagel and going to the backyard to where Dave is digging a massive hole, which he plans to put in a pool.
Yeah.
And we get an overall feeling for who Dave and Stoney are.
Also, it really creeped me out that Stoney was eating that bagel just straight up. Not toasted, not cut, nothing on it. He was just biting into that bagel. It was weird.
David's planning on having a pool hole done and a pool laid by graduation, and he plans on taking Robin to the graduation. Stoney, of all people, seems actually more grounded in reality than Dave. Dave is in love with Robin Sweeney, a sweet and attractive girl who had been his best friend during grade school until she reached adolescence. And I'm reading the plot. And until she reached adolescence, had been rejected by Dave on several occasions. Stoney even says Dave had multiple chances to be with Robin.
Yes. Dave is gross.
Yes. Yeah. Her boyfriend, Matt Wilson, the younger DeLuise brother, is a jock and a bully who constantly humiliates Dave and Stoney, usually directly due to Dave's affection towards Robin.
Mm-hmm.
One day, while digging his pool in the backyard, Dave comes across a chunk of ice that has the body of a man in it. He leaves the ice block unattended in the garage, and space heaters left on causes the ice to melt, releasing the caveman. Okay. Again, I know I check common sense at the door, but okay, so the earthquake happens. They see this big giant ice, and they use the riding lawnmower to pull that block of ice out of the ground.
Yes.
A block of ice that looks to be at least a few tons.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And they're using the riding lawnmower. I do appreciate the filmmakers presenting that pulley system on the swings and stuff to give the illusion that they put a thought into it.
Mm-hmm.
When the boys return home, they find hand paint covering the walls and the house is in disarray. They missed the part about Brendan Fraser waking up and running around, which had a couple of laughs. I don't know if I actually laughed.
I did not actually laugh.
Yeah, maybe a smile.
I mean, it was mildly amusing in the, oh, look at Brendan Fraser, like, walk around like a Cro-Magnon man, wearing a little loincloth. Good for him. But also, can we just talk about, like, why, if you found a body in a big block of ice, would you defrost it?
Yeah.
I'm like, ew.
Because if it was anything like a crow, it would wake. If it could wake up, he would probably kill you if he didn't die.
But I was just like, who leaves
process.
it to defrost and then like goes to school? Shouldn't you try to watch that shit? I'm just like, okay.
Also, at the beginning of the movie, he had a lot more clothes on, like animal skins.
Yes.
And when he thawed, he was already dressed for the California weather.
Correct.
Like, where did all his animals go?
Apparently, they disintegrated in the ice.
Oh, that could happen, yeah.
Yeah, because water makes animal pelts disintegrate.
Right.
We don't ask questions. We just accept it.
They investigate a beeping smoke alarm and discover the caveman in Dave's bedroom, attempting to start a fire. At first, he panics at the sight of them and the sound of a telephone, but Stoney uses the flame of a lighter to mesmerize and calm him. It was at this time in the movie that I knew I was in for another weekend at Bernie's.
I mean, I didn't think it was another weekend at Bernie's, but I mean, it was maybe a little bit better than that.
After bathing him and trimming him to look like an average teenager, Dave names him Link, as in the missing link.
Clever.
I do appreciate a good montage. This movie had more than one. But yeah, they had that whole montage of getting him to look like a teenager.
Also, can we talk about how gross everything they used to clean him with was?
Yeah,
like,
everything
why
they
are you
dumped
putting
in
like
that
toilet bowl cleaner in there? Like,
pretty sure half that stuff would have
cleaner.
burned 3 or 4 layers of skin off.
Yes, and I was like, that's not very smart, but okay, we'll keep it rolling. We'll keep it moving.
They managed to get him some clothes and fool Dave's parents and sister into thinking he is actually an Estonian exchange student sent to live with them. Now, I remember the mom from TV and movies. I totally remember the dad.
100%.
Richard Mauser, License to Drive, The Thing, Orange is the New Black, My Girl. And I played a lot of dads, and he was in a lot of stuff. And they actually are both still working. And now, the outline here missed the whole part of him going to school for the first time. And then going to school. Actually, they missed going to school without Link.
Yeah.
When he was thawing, where every high school stereotype you could think of was not only on display, but as if a white mom from middle America was asked to create those stereotypes.
Correct.
Oh my God. Was there anyone that was not white at that school? The hip hop guys were
the
white.
The hippity hop guys. No. One of them was Latino, if I'm not mistaken. The other one, I think, was white.
Yeah.
And then there was, oh no, wait. I don't think he's in that opening scene. The Asian guy. I think he comes later.
The guy from Goonies. Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah. So
I think there might have also been a teacher. But I think that might be where we're at. In that school.
Now, the teacher that was there that was talking about, just happened to be talking about Cro-Magnon.
Yep.
And his lesson. I do remember him. He was in The Burbs. He was in a ton of other stuff, and he was great. He died. He died about 8 years ago. I was kind of sad when I saw that.
Oh my God.
So he was good. He was great.
I just like the way you said he died.
Yeah, he died.
He died.
No, but that school was very white. Like, I lived in buttfuck nowhere. We were super white. Like white. We had 2 black kids in my entire high school, and they were brothers. Like, not bros, like they were related. And we weren't that 90s.
See, I went to a super multicultural high school. So multicultural, in fact, that we had multicultural night where all of the different like ethnic clubs or cultural clubs put on performances, set up food tables. Like, you could
I bet you it didn't look like that high school.
No, not at all. We had a lot of white people. I'm not going to lie. We had a lot of white people. However, our school was probably 50% people of color, maybe 60.
Mine was 99 point -2.
See, and this
And
one
we
was
weren't that white.
97% white. It's a lot of white. It was a lot of white.
They enroll him in school where Link's bizarre behavior and supreme athletic skills shoot Dave and Stoney to popularity by association. This allows Dave to get closer to Robin, causing Matt's anger and frustration. I did enjoy Matt picking on Dave.
Yes. I enjoyed the stapling.
I don't know how those staples held him up.
I don't know either. And I also don't know why he didn't just take off his shirt.
Yeah. Or pull his arm forward to pop those staples out.
No, he just stayed there, attached to the bulletin board. It's nice. Yeah.
This movie was asking a lot of dumbing down. Yeah. Soon, Stoney's bizarre attitude apparently is having an effect on Link's actions and speech, which causes a rift between Dave and Stoney. Matt's anger and frustration leads to a fight with Link at a skating rink and increases due to Robin's growing attraction toward Link.
Mm-hmm.
And they forgot. Okay, so the plot left out a lot. I did know Robin Tunney in this movie is like the youngest actor in the lead roles, and she was almost 20 when she did this.
Damn.
Yeah, everyone else was between 21 and 24. They forgot the second montage or third montage when they go to that theme park.
There are so many montages. Although I will say the theme park is probably one of the nicest. I actually wrote a note and I was like, I'm in love with Link. He's so pure. Like he just finds joy in everything. And he's all like, this is nice. This is great. Yeah, let's dance. Woo. And I'm like,
did you not notice that when they were at the theme park that it was nothing but models?
Well,
like I even noticed when they are on the roller coaster, the people behind them were very attractive, modelish women.
they had to have some fresh nugs.
Nugs. That's right. I was trying to remember. Fresh nugs.
Like, the fuck is a nug? And I was like, this is because I had blocked it all out. I did not remember, not even a little bit, how Pauly Shore used to talk.
Yeah.
And then within the first minute of this movie, I was like, oh my God, he's going to talk like that through the whole thing.
Yeah. And I bet you if you put Google Speak up to try to translate Pauly Shore, you'd break Google. Google would just say, what the fuck am I listening to?
Google would be like, no translation found.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. No speak of the whatever the hell that was.
Terrible.
And yeah, they where were we in the movie? It did make me want to go to school in California. I will say that.
Yeah, but every high school show or movie makes me want to go to school in California. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I was like, take me there.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills 90210, 100%. Let's do this.
What
Saw
if
a couple episodes of All American, and I was like, let's go.
But the continuity in this movie sucked. When they were in the convenience store, Link gets slushy all over him.
Yeah.
The next shot, he's clean. Stoney sticks his mouth under the slushy machine. His mouth is full of stuff. When the guy pulls Stoney away from it, there's nothing in his mouth. Mm-hmm. Also, at dinner with everybody, and Link goes to get the fly. He has a napkin tucked in his shirt, and then it's gone while he's chasing the fly around. And then when he goes to eat the dog food, it's tucked back on in his shirt again.
They did not have a continuity coordinator, and if they did, that person was high and drunk at all times.
Yeah, probably hanging out with Pauly Shore.
Probably, yes.
During a school field trip to a natural history museum, Link gets upset realizing that the cave people he knew are all dead. Stoney and Dave console Link that he is not without friends in this time, causing the trio to make a pact. I will say this. I agree with you. Brendan Fraser does bring some depth to this character. As silly as it is, like you see actual acting from Fraser.
There's a lot of them. Like, don't get me wrong. You see actual acting from like Sean Astin as well. It helps you not like him as a person.
Yeah.
As a character. You're kind of a douchebag. Like, get over yourself.
Which is weird because Sean Astin's usually
the
nice guy in the movie.
The nice guy. Who knew Pauly Shore was going to be the nice guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, Brendan Fraser brings such a pureness to this character where it's like, yes, you're discovering everything. Like a kid in a whole new world, like just being like, what is this? And approaching everything with this like joy and curiosity. And I was like, you just want to watch him like discover the world. That
Made
was
me
my
want to
favorite
watch George
part.
of the Jungle.
No thanks.
You didn't like George of the Jungle?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Character's kind of the same. During Driver's Ed, Link drives away in a car with Dave, Stoney, and Robin in it. Yeah, that's another. You see Dave in the back seat, and then in the next scene, it's a double. And the double has a giant smile on his face. Like he's so happy to be there. Like he knew he was going to make it in the movie. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They stop at a dance club and Dave and Link are arrested. Dave, who has had enough of Link's shenanigans and is upset that Robin chooses to go to the prom with Link, tries to abandon him, and a fight between Dave and Stoney causes Link to come running back and separate the friends. Stoney and Dave reconcile. Okay, there's lots of process here because that was a big chunk of the movie. One, Robin is such a bitch.
I love that he asks her to go to the prom, and then she's like, "No, I want to go with Link."
And he's like, "What?" And then ask him to ask Link for her.
Yeah.
At least he hangs up on her. Yeah.
He hangs up on her, but then he's like, "I'm using my one phone call to ask you to prom." And I was like, that's sucks to be you, Holmes. Sucks to be you.
And her friend Ella was totally into Link, like through the whole movie.
Yes.
Totally into Link and single.
She broke girl code.
Yeah. Because she just broke up with Matt like 2 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then she knows Dave likes her and like Link and him are bros. And this all happens in the same day, doesn't it? Breaks up with Matt.
Yeah, she broke up with Matt. They went to the bar, to the Mexican bar.
Yeah.
Did a lot of dancing. Stoney became friends with the homies. They got arrested. Robin went home, had a fight with Mike.
Because he was waiting there for her.
Because he was waiting there for her. The younger DeLuise. And then that's when she gets the call to be asked to prom because he got arrested with Link. And they were the only two because Link was swinging from the ceiling.
Right. Yeah, I do not like Robin.
I did not like her either. I was like, don't get me wrong. She's cute. She's super cute.
She's cute.
However, I'm like, she is showing me nothing to show that she is worth all of this.
No. Because doesn't she say like she changes her mind because she feels kind of bad or like she suggests that all three of them can go and it'd be fun?
She's like, all three of us can go together. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what you... Look, I don't want to hurt your feelings that bad, but I also don't want to go with just you.
Yeah. You can hang out with me and Link while he touches me.
I'm going to need someone to translate while I try to make out with Link, if you don't mind.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do not like you, Robin, you bitch. Nope. On prom night, Link is hit at the party. Oh, no, sorry. I'm the plot line here. On prom night, Link is a hit at the party.
Yes.
He doesn't get hit, but he did get hit before that at the thing with Robin as his date because while Dave stays in for the evening, Matt breaks into Dave's bedroom and steals photographic evidence that Link is a caveman. Was it his house that they broke into?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Dave was in the back with Stoney with the pool that's really just a hole in the ground filled up with water. And I was so distracted by that because I was like, did you just... But then I was also distracted by the fact that they lit Stoney and Dave to look like the water was like rippling in front, but the pool was behind them. So I was like, the fuck? What are you looking at? So confused. But yeah, Matt breaks into Dave's house and then knocks over a photograph or a frame that has a picture of Robin in it. And then the Polaroids pop out of the evidence of
that's right.
Link being a caveman. I don't know how that's evidence, but okay. It's mostly just a block of ice.
As Dave and Stoney go after Matt and his friends, another earthquake happens. And then Matt uncovers the freak at the prom, but his plan backfires as the information makes Link even more popular. Matt is left Sorry, you want to...
No.
No?
I was
Oh,
just like,
okay.
yes, correct.
Matt is left humiliated. Dave and Robin make up, and the three boys lead the entire prom in an impromptu caveman-like dance with infectious grooves providing the music. I'm now in some sort of woken coma watching this fucking thing.
This was where, actually, no, it was at the bar where I started to not be completely bored by this movie. Because
Oh, okay.
up until that point, I was just like, ugh. And then in the bar, there were a few scenes that made me
There
laugh.
were a couple funny scenes in the bar, yes.
So I kind of laughed a little bit, and I was like, oh, maybe this is what I was remembering when I watched it. Because I was like, for the first like half of the movie, I was like, what is this shit? And then like the whole thing in jail happened, and I'm like, God, Dave, you're a douchebag. Link deserves better than you. But then Dave kind of redeems himself, and he's like, no, go to the prom with Link, have fun. And then he stays behind. And then, there's some WWF/E fighting styles between Link and Matt. There's cake splash and punch pouring. And then there is, as you mentioned, the 90s choreographed dance, which is always impromptu. God forbid, somehow it's genetically imprinted on every teen in the 90s in these movies that they know all the dance moves. And at that point, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, it was mildly amusing at that point. It wasn't good, but it was mildly amusing.
After the prom, some of the students attend Dave's house for a pool party where Dave and Robin kiss. Meanwhile, Stoney and Link follow clues similar to when they found him, ranging from breast prints on the slider and paint coverings on the walls. They follow a muddy footprint to the bathroom and discover a beautiful cave woman in the bathtub, who turns out to be Link's partner from the beginning of the film. He joins her in the bathtub as Stoney cheers them on and embraces her happily. She is also made to look like a modern human. And that's the end of the plot line I got.
Because that's the end of the movie. He got his cave nug, and now all is right with the world. But then if I was the cave nug, I'd be a little pissed and be like, why are you going to prom with some girl? I don't understand. I thought we had something deeper.
Yeah. All right, movie score time. Have at her.
You know what? I'm giving this one a 5. And here's 4.5 to 5. It's somewhere in there. Cuz it's somewhere between awful and meh. Like, I can understand why I liked it in the 90s. I cannot justify liking it now. I will probably never watch it again. But I saw the humor. Pauly Shore was super popular at that point. I don't remember being that annoyed by him at the time. I did find him mildly annoying, but not as annoying. That kind of humor was funny. I was obsessed with high school movies, especially US high school movies. So, and there was a choreographed dance, and it was the high school dynamics. There was a bully, the bullied, and, this really cool, funny guy who's super cute, Brendan Fraser, playing the missing link. And I was like, I know why I liked it back then. I don't like it as much now. I will probably never watch it again. So I'm in the 4.5 to 5. It's somewhere between awful and meh.
Okay. My score is, again, I wrote it. After watching this movie, I didn't just question my younger self. I actually questioned my memory and wonder if I actually liked this movie back then. Maybe I like Biodome and In the Army, which were scored even lower than this dung heap because maybe they were so bad and stupid they were funny. And that's a question I can't answer unless I watch them. And I don't know if I want to do that. The dialogue, the acting were horseshit, like 100% bona fide grade A horseshit. The continuity was atrocious. The costume and set piece were like 90s propaganda. Mm-hmm. There were a few glimmers of humor that made me think that this was why I liked it back then. But this fell into the Weekend at Bernie's vortex of nostalgia and being younger. But Bernie held a lot more nostalgia for me, where this movie actually made me think I made a mistake. Like I was bamboozled by false memories. I must have watched a far superior comedy before I watched this movie, and this movie came under the radar by being in the right time slot of viewing. because this movie was not good. I give this movie a 3. Atrocious, beyond awful. It had layers of nostalgia and a few glimmers of hope, but in the end, I was wrong and my stupid parents were right.
God damn it. To be perfectly honest, if Stoney didn't have as much emotional intelligence, like that was the part that kind of, I was like, why is he emotionally mature?
I thought he was the moron.
Yeah.
In my head, I thought he was the moron.
So
Dave was the more emotional one.
Yeah. I thought he would be the more mature one. He would be the one that kind of, but he was honestly borderline psychotic.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Like, you are not okay, sir. But yeah, once the bar scene happened, there were a few more laughs. It was a little, like, I feel like the pace picked up a little bit more. And I was like, okay.
I do say Brendan Fraser did bring.
Yeah.
He acted. There was acting in there. I just thought this was a bad movie.
Oh no, overall, as I said, I will never watch this again, probably. Like, the only reason I'd watch it again is if someone else made me and there was copious amounts of alcohol.
Like at gunpoint?
Okay, yeah. Kinda. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, I will never watch it again. I can pretty much guarantee this. Unless
so what would you tell,
like blackmail? Never gonna watch it again.
What would you tell people that said they liked it then?
You probably won't like it now, but I highly suggest you confirm whether or not you would.
See, if you liked it then, you're an idiot like I am. Don't watch it. I would say keep those fond memories. Yes. Because it will be dashed.
See, I'm all for ruining the memories.
Yeah, so am I kind of now. If for people that have never seen it,
you need to watch it. You know what? It's a cultural point. Pauly Shore. This is so stereotypical 90s high school movie. There's nothing like revolutionary about it. There's nothing unique or extra creative about it. It was just the standard fare. I'm like, you need to watch it so that you know. Like this, they followed the template exactly. Also, just Brendan Fraser. So good. His performance alone, so good. You're going to want to hug him.
Yeah, if he wasn't in this would have fallen right to 2.
It would have been a serious pile of shit.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just a small, mildly smelly pile of shit.
And if you're younger and watch this, you could totally make fun of your parents.
Oh, 100%.
For liking this movie.
100%.
Could it be done today?
It could, but why would you want to?
Yeah. Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, there's no reason. This seems like a good idea, but
yeah, if they did a legacy sequel and brought back the whole cast, I'd watch it, but it'd be more out of morbid curiosity.
Did you know that there was a sequel to this?
There was?
There was a TV movie. It was called Encino Man.
Get out. Really?
I kid you not. It was a TV movie made in 1996. And here there is the synopsis.
Are any of them in it?
No. And that's it's one of those where it's like, we're going to take the exact same concept.
Only it's got a 2.8 out of 10.
Yeah. After thawing a young prehistoric woman, Lucy gets herself taken care of by David, a young intern at a marketing firm. Working on a campaign ad for a cosmetics company, David becomes Mr. Big Shot when his protege is chosen to be the model / spokeswoman for her animal personality.
That sounds
They did
bad.
that on purpose. Like on purpose. I was like, why would you do that? I don't understand. But yeah, that was they did that.
Wow.
They were like, this is going to be a great idea.
Well, didn't they make that TV show about the cavemen? Remember those commercials? Those commercials.
Oh,
of the
yeah,
cavemen?
yeah.
And then they decided to make an entire sitcom about them.
I do not remember watching the sitcom because I think I said that's stupid.
Yeah, I did not see the sitcom either.
Yeah.
I remember liking the commercials because they were kind of funny.
Well, in 30-second increments, sure, it's a great idea.
Not a half-hour TV show.
Not a half-an-hour TV show over multiple weeks.
Perhaps because you're talking network TV, so you're looking at 20, 25 episodes a season.
No reason to do that whatsoever. But yeah, they made a TV movie sequel called Encino Man on purpose.
I'm kind of curious to see what that.
Part of me wants to see it. Part of me is like, can you get worse? I think you can get worse than Encino Man because it doesn't have Brendan Fraser. And I highly doubt that Catherine Kusi is as enchanting as Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I've never heard of her.
Me neither.
But she is known for Biodome, Threesome, Silent Men, in ER. Oh, one episode of ER. And I'm guessing she's not a main character in any of these. Oh, she's only been in 5. She stopped acting in 2005.
Good for her. It's I'm sure she's retired off of all of the royalties from Encino Woman.
I think she married rich.
Also very valid. Or maybe she became like a real estate agent. That seems to be very popular among former actors.
Yep.
Or entertainment lawyers.
Yeah, like Chunk from Goonies.
That was
and what's his name from Goonies was in this as the stereotypical
Asian nerd. Yeah, I always mispronounce this. Ki Hui Kwan, I think is how you pronounce it. He was obviously in the Goonies, and then him and Brendan Fraser did this movie, and now both of them have been making the award circuit together this year. And it's been
both their
so
movies
great.
are all over the place. Yeah,
I know. I think they were both nominated for Oscars too.
He was nominated for Best Supporting, and he was nominated for Best Actor. Yeah,
I really hope
both their movies were nominated for Best Movie.
This is a very exciting time for me. I enjoy all of this. Hopefully I'll have enough time to watch all of the Oscar movies. Mind you, by the time this airs, the Oscars are probably going to be done.
Have you seen all the movies?
Oh God, no.
No.
I always do a mad rush right before. I try to watch the movies, but I find you have to be in a very artistic state of mind to watch Oscar-nominated movies.
They do have quite a few, but I think they're just doing that now too, because they put in 10 movies now, and they put 5 blockbusters to trick everyone to watch it, and then they just let the most artistic. But I will say, I did watch the Michelle Yeoh one, Everywhere, Everything.
I heard that one was
Jesus
fantastic.
Christ. It's an awesome movie.
Mind you, I love her.
Awesome.
Like,
Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome.
Jamie Lee Curtis got nominated for her very first Oscar this year.
Yeah. Oh, she's awesome in it.
Oh God, I feel like this year is going to be a good year where I'm actually going to watch all of the movies and like them.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about Encino Man?
No, I do think it is something that everybody should watch at least once and then never watch a second time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And we'll watch another movie.
Yep. We're coming back with another one.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,